Hey folks, this is Bill with Dine Drink Vegas. I'm here at the Mandalay Bay on the south end of the Las Vegas Strip, and let's take a quick tour of a standard resort guest room. We've only just checked in, and my first impression is that this room is a lot larger than a lot of standard rooms. I mean, it's a basic room, right? It's not a suite or anything, but it feels nice and open and spacious. You, of course, can get one with one king or with two queen beds, although a lot of times one type or the other won't be ready when you check in. We reserved a one king room, wound up going for the two queens so we could check in a little bit early, and they were gracious and kind to help us do that. So as we get into the room, I like the fact that there is actually a standard work desk here. So many hotels now are going with some sort of a weird dining table or a sitting area, and sometimes I need to pull out my laptop and do work when I'm on vacation, and that's really great. Let's look and see what the power plug situation is. All right, so there's at least a couple of places where you can sit and do work. Now, you can tell from all of those other items, this is a little bit of an older hotel when you used to need some of those kinds of plugs. Coming over here, so if you're not familiar with mini bars in Las Vegas, folks, one of the things that you want to know is that you don't want to pick up anything off the mini bar till you've decided to purchase it, because once you move it, it's on a motion sensor and you're going to be charged. I'm going to go ahead and assume then this is not a regular refrigerator. It's part of the mini bar. And it is. It is well stocked. And to find out what stuff cost, you would have to go there. But I'm going to take a stab at it and say each of those little mini bottles down there is probably something on the order of about $15. So they've got an in-room coffee maker, and that's great because so many times you wake up first thing in the morning in Vegas, you need some coffee to get you going. The problem is that there's no coffee included. You have to buy the coffee off of the mini bar. So that's certainly better than standing in line at the Starbucks downstairs, but it's not the same thing as free in-room coffee. There's a nice sitting area, and we don't have the very best view in the world. It's not a view of the Strip, but I'll be honest, I kind of like looking out at the airport and airport operations. The good news is we're so far up here on the 60th floor, you can't hear a bit of sound. So it's perfectly quiet. That's not going to disturb us. It's just whatever. It's kind of its own cool view. Coming into the main part of the room, let's take a look here. So you've got a couple more places to plug in your phone or whatever you need. And one of the things that I like is the pen and paper, because sometimes that's incredibly convenient if you just want to take a quick note. The other thing it's good for is when I leave a note for the housekeeper about something I need, or one of the things I like to try to do in Vegas is make sure the housekeeper gets a tip, because I don't think those folks are probably paid enough. Let's take a look. The clock says it's 2:55. I'm looking at my watch. Bonus, the clock actually reflects the correct time, and I appreciate that they paid attention to those details. Let's do the bed check real quick. So that is an incredibly soft bed. It's actually soft to the point that if you need something a little bit firmer, you may want to talk to the hotel, but if you like a nice soft bed like I do, this one will work out amazingly. Let's keep going. So it looks like you have the ability to connect rooms. That's not what we did here, but that's nice if you're traveling with a little bit of a larger group. The closet. It's not huge, but it will certainly do the job. Ironing board. Standard in-room safe. And are there two closets in this room? There are, in fact, two closets in this room. So you've got plenty of storage space. So as we come into the bathroom, this may be one of the best appointed bathrooms I've had for just a regular guest room. Now, I've certainly been in some fancier bathrooms, but those have all come in suites or fancier accommodations. This one, the tub is separate from the shower. Now, it's not a jetted tub, but it's nice and long. My wife, who is 6 feet tall, would be able to fit in there pretty easily. The shower is separate. There's no bench in the shower. You got some nice, what looks to be like marble tile floor, even though there's some plastic fittings right there. Water pressure test. Yeah, the water pressure works fine. More to the point, the controls are really easy, and I appreciate the fact that they have individual bottles of bathroom amenities rather than, some giant tub of stuff that you've got to pump out. They've got more over here. So this is one of the better equipped for amenities in terms of standard hotel rooms that I've had in a while. And I actually like physical soap bars. There's also the dual vanity so two people can get ready at once. Now, One of the other features that I love in hotels is when the water closet's in its own separate room. So that way, if somebody needs to use the bathroom, somebody else can be out here bathing or getting ready at the same time without interference. So again, folks, this is a standard resort guest room here at the Mandalay Bay. And is it the fanciest hotel room in Vegas? No. But it's a really nice room. It is particularly large. It's well appointed. It's in a nice resort, and it usually comes a lot cheaper than a lot of other rooms. So folks, what I'm going to do is sign off for now, and I'm going to come back later on and do an overall summary of what it's like to stay here. But before I do that, I'd like to ask for your help. What we try really hard to do here at Dine Drink Vegas is give you short and focused videos which give you the information that you need to plan your next trip. If this video has been helpful, please support the channel by clicking like and subscribe. Also, every time you leave a comment in the comment section below, it helps YouTube show our videos to more people, and we love to hear from our listeners, and we love to interact with you and answer your questions. You can also reach out to us on social media at Dine Drink Travel on essentially every social media platform. You can find our podcast, Dine Drink Vegas, on any podcast platform, and you can reach out to John from the podcast at Dine Drink John on X. Sit tight. I will be back in just a minute and tell you what it was like to stay here. So folks, the Mandalay Bay is absolutely one of my favorite hotels in Las Vegas, and I'm surprised it's not a little bit more popular than it is. So the drawback is that it's the last hotel going south on the Las Vegas Strip. And that makes sense. If you want to be in the middle of the action, if you want to go to other hotels, then there's not a whole lot of stuff immediately close by. However, there's several really big advantages to it. For one thing, it quite frequently costs less than the hotels which are a half mile or a mile to the north of here. Also, some of the products here are cheaper. I've had several drinks here that were probably $4 or $5 cheaper than they would have been at other hotels. I had a great lunch today at Border Grill, which was absolutely less than what an equivalent meal would have cost at the Bellagio. Also, a lot of times I can straight up afford to get a bigger, nicer room here than I can get on other properties on the Strip, and the pool is world class. Now, I guess one of the other downsides is that lots of families bring their kids here, and if what you're looking for is a quiet and relaxed vacation, then this is probably not the spot. But if you are traveling with your kids, this is absolutely the place to be. And for most of us, it doesn't matter. Those kids are with their parents. If you're not at the pool, whatever, they're not going to be with you at the beach or at the upscale supper club. Also, there's a lot here that I enjoy doing. I enjoy Rewa Irish Pub. I didn't go there today, but I've been there before. We went over to Skyfall at the W. We went to the Border Grill, right? There are lots of things that I enjoy here. The gambling is a little bit more player friendly than other places on the Strip. I like this hotel, and it's overall been a phenomenal experience. Folks, I know I talked about this earlier, but we really do care here at Dine Drink Vegas about bringing you short and focused videos which give you the information that you need to plan your next trip, and we would love to hear from you to know what video you need us to make next. So reach out to us on social media at Dine Drink Travel on whatever social media platform you use. You can also just put something in the comments section below, and we'll be delighted to hear from you. Please click like, please click subscribe, but thanks so much and happy travels.